Of my discussion. Last week I recorded a video saying what we're going to do this week, and that video is actually at the start of your notes from last week. So if you, feel a need to review any of the basics, just go and look there. But I'm going to generate a new document now. I'm going to do it in front of you. We're going to do it together, and there, because I take online courses myself as well, and it's hard sometimes when the instructor just drops a PDF in front of you. You don't really know what's going on. So therefore, we're going to be building it up together. So this is what we did last week, right? I showed you this concept of a node distributed enterprise application. We introduced the use of TypeScript, and I started to talk a little bit about the reason why TypeScript is good is because it lets us do domain-driven design from UML. So anyway, all of that stuff was setup stuff. So let's put a link to this last week's document in your this week's document, which is your project doing instructions. And I put a video here as well, right? Here was the video. Oh, where's the video? No, maybe the video was somewhere else. Anyway, I'll find that video in a minute. It was the video that I linked in your news forum this morning. So this notebook discusses what you will be doing in the project, and this week we'll be talking about how to do it. So this document right there, this lecture note from last week, presents the concept of the distributed application, which is what you're going to be making for your project. We talked last week about the use of TypeScript to do our JavaScript in. We will now talk about... Yeah, that's me, good. But you can get the live show. You can watch the video later. It's like paying extra to see the artist live. We showed how to use TypeScript. And the reason why we said TypeScript was good, well, a number of reasons, but TypeScript is object-oriented, unlike JavaScript, which is just sort of there. So anyway, TypeScript is object-oriented. Therefore, we can model. Therefore, you're going to be in your project. Whoops, what did I do here? In your project. And you're going to be required to make a UML diagram of the business domain which I assigned to you. And that's actually our July 17 today Lab 3 work. So you're going to forward generate, you're going to study your business domain, and you're going to make a UML diagram, and that UML diagram you're going to forward generate your application from UML, which you can do with TypeScript because that works with object-oriented programming, as I discussed extensively last week. If you don't remember, go and watch the video. Somebody's watching it back there right now. So leave a like on my video, please, by the way. So make a UML diagram, depicting your business domain. And you're going to forward generate from UML, you're going to forward generate TypeScript objects. And that's the way real IT application development is done. All right, so in a couple of minutes, I'm going to ask you to hook up with your team members, and I'm going to give you instructions to make your Trello board, LaTeX document, setup, startup. Yeah, so set up your Trello board, Slack channel, set up your LaTeX document, and then I can give you your business domain, and then you can start the lab, which is UML diagramming your business domain. All right, I think I just got one more thing to drop in here, then we can get going. Where did I put the one? I'm not finding the document I posted this morning. Let me just go and check here. Ah, yes, your video is down there. Okay, good. Oh, is this door doing its locking thing again? I asked the guys at maintenance to fix it. They didn't fix it yet. All right, so we've got your YouTube video. We've got your objects in TypeScript. Okay, we've got it all. So I'm now going to post this up in Moodle so everybody have access to it, and then we're just going to start banging through these points one at a time. All right, so July 17, today we're doing Lab 3 in class, which is the setup for your project, which you can read about here. Lab is due at the end of class today, must be done in class, and will not be accepted by people who are not attendant in class today. And it's not much. I mean, it's like 2 hours of work, and we have, what is it, a 3-hour class. Take a couple of breaks, we'll be fine. All right, I will now welcome and invite you either through the news forum or through the wiki, which I posted right here. Go and join me in terms of accessing this document, which is your instruction document. Actually, I should have put the instruction document way up at the top by itself. I'm going to go and add that in. So here is our July 17 Lab 3 activity on the theme of setting up to deliver the project. We will now talk about this I hope all of you guys who are watching my video are actually liking it. I get hundreds of people watching and I don't know, like 2 likes or something. It makes me feel sad. Just like my page, like my video. It doesn't cost you anything. Be a nice person. Help a future YouTube influencer to try and grow their business. All right, let's kick this out. Please, when you're putting links in your LaTeX, double check them as I'm doing, make sure the link actually works. The most irritating thing is if I have 3-4 hours time blocked to do marking, and then somebody's link doesn't work and I have to email them and, I don't know, wait for them. Or, in fact, I'm probably going to put a thing in your grading rubric that if any of your links don't work, you're just going to get 0, because it's honestly not that hard to check. It's just like take an extra 2 seconds. All right, so this document is going to be our main document we'll be working around, so make sure you keep that handy. I will post it here in the news forum as well. And then we're just going to start going through and doing it. All right, so I'm assuming that what you need to do for Lab 3, here you go. And if you don't have a team by now, just work by yourself. Maybe nobody likes you. I get that. It's not you. The world's a messed up place. It makes people behave in unpleasant ways. So just get it done somehow. So you're going to make a text file, one per team. And you're going to name that as your team name.txt. And you're going to get a couple of extra marks for a cool team name. So come up with something cool. Name that text file as team name.txt. And you're going to upload it to the end. I'll give you an upload location. And you're also going to be providing in the text file your Trello board URL, your LaTeX document URL, your team's Slack channel URL invite to me, and there's probably going to be 5 or 6 other things you're going to be doing, but that's going to be a good starting point. So once we've got this done, I will access your Trello board, and I'll tell you what your business domain is you're going to be working, right? So this should take till about 10 o'clock. Honestly, if it takes more than 5-10 minutes to do this, well, it really shouldn't. So once I have this document, I will deposit in your Trello board, and I'll notify you by Slack channel. Of what your specific business domain is. And then you're going to make so here's the main purpose of Lab 3. You're then going to spend the class time today, make a UML diagram depicting your business URL exactly as we discussed in class last week. All right, so I suppose the first thing you should do is appoint a team leader. And I did ask you last week to come to class this week knowing who your team is. If you still don't have a team, then just work as a team of one. I really don't care. We need to get this going. The first half of this class, the first 7 weeks, I've been listening to everybody's story about I don't understand. I don't know. It seems if another instructor, whoever's your other instructor, you're nervously doing their work, and I bet if I went and talked to them, he would probably tell me it's simple. I tell them they get the work in or they get 0. I don't care about excuses. That's probably why you're nervously hovering over your keyboard in my class, banging away on that assignment. If that's what works, that's what I'm going to do. I don't care about excuses. I need to have this by 12 o'clock today. I mean, the lab is only 5%. Come on, that's not going to make it or break it in terms of your passing or failing the course, but we do need to get that done. So step number 1, so how to get started delivering this. So get with your team or work by yourself and be a team of 1. Or 2 or 3, right? Whatever you want. maximum 4 people per team. I know that some other instructors actually assign the teams. I don't really like doing that because if somebody complains later one of their team members didn't do anything, didn't do any of the work, I don't know. It's up to you. If you trust these people, if you want to share your marks with them, go for it. If you don't, then work by yourself. Don't come and nag to me later if your team members aren't doing the job because you selected to work with them. So get with your team or work by yourself. And the first thing we're going to need to do now is get our Trello board up and going, which I will now demonstrate. If anybody doesn't know how to do the Trello board later because they're talking instead of listening, sir, how do I do a Trello board? My answer is going to be watch the goddamn video I'm making now. Once again, I've more than had it with you guys. Disrespect, not showing up, chit-chatting, doing other instructors' assignment in my class. I have absolutely less than zero sympathy or patience for any of you. If you expect me to make a little bit of leeway for you, no. Get the damn, or get zero. I don't care. You cannot do it and you can get zero. I get paid the same at the end of the week, right? My paycheck is not tied to how much you're learning. But if you decide to stop chat-chitting with each other, by the way, I've many times asked you to bring a notebook to class, a journal, and write down what I'm saying. I don't see anybody journaling. If somebody comes to me later and says, sir, I don't understand what to do, my first thing I'm going to say is show me your class journal. And if you don't have that to show me, my answer is going to be I'm a hard worker, I'm not a miracle worker. If you don't want to take responsibility for your own learning, that's kind of on you at that point, right? So we're now going to make a Trello board. And the reason why we're going to do this now is you need the URL from that Trello board to include in your text file. So let's do that now. Now, once again, in the first weeks of this class, I mistakenly believed you were following along. Weeks 2, 3, and 4, I was showing labs. I was saying, do this, do that. And then week 5, I gave you something you had to hand in, and 40 people were lined up on my desk saying, sir, how do I install Node.js? How do I install Visual Studio Code? So anyway, I'm now going to demonstrate. If you don't understand, now's the time to ask. So Trello board is what? First of all, I'm going to show you, and then you're going to make it. And you need one Trello board per team. However, I'm suggesting everybody should probably make their own Trello board right now, just so they get familiar with it. So first of all, why do we use Trello? Let me demonstrate it. Trello is something which is actually, let me show you one of my little videos here. Trello is used by project management teams. It is a way of constructing. It touches on the parts of our course outline about collaboration and team communication. Probably the fastest way is to just show you a video I made a couple of years ago in the Capstone Project course. Because you guys like watching my videos, you're watching them now, so you can just go and watch that. So Trello is basically something that looks like this. It is a grid line.
All right, gentlemen and ladies, boys and girls, children of all ages.
You set up swim lanes, which are the up and down part, and then you can put cards in each swim lane, and you can assign tasks. And this is exactly what's going to happen at work, right? When you're on the IT team at work, your manager, your supervisor is going to have oversight, right? They're going to checkpoint on your progress, and you can report on success or problems you're having on the project. You can assign tasks to team members. I can assign tasks to team members. So, see if I can get a good picture of a Trello board here.
What I want you to do for learning activity
Yeah, so here's an example of a Trello board. So you're going to make, and you're going to ask me, how do I make my Trello board? How do I make my swim lanes? My answer to you is, I give you the complete permission. You can make it any way you like. Because one of the great things about using a tool like Trello is the act of figuring out how you're going to put it together and the thinking of deciding what you're going to call things. That's 90% of the value. Because you have to really deeply think about your business domain. And then when you can start to, and if you don't do it right the first time, you can always go back and do it again. But just the act of figuring out how to put it together is 90% of the value. So here in this class, they had an inception phase for their project. They constructed method unit tests. This was a software development class, so module integration, system testing, and so on. And then in each swim lane, you can put cards. So that's at a high level, that's what it looks like. And this video, it talks about the whole thing, how to set it up and all that. However, we are going to go and do that together right now.
Designing how
so everybody, I suggest you do this now, because if you have any questions, now I can help you. If you, I don't know, like next week, you say, I don't know how to set up my Trello board, my answer is going to be, yeah, that kind of sucks, doesn't it? Because next week, we have next week's stuff to talk about. So setting up your Trello board, here's the recipe. So first of all, you're going to go to Trello.com, and you have access to this document. So whatever I type here, you just press Control-R. It's a web page. It refreshes. Go and get it that way. So let's go to their website, which is Trello.com. And sign up. And it's free. At the very end, they're going to ask you, they're going to say, you want to try a free 7-day membership or premium? Say no, you don't need it. So you can use your school or personal email. I generally advise students, I'm going to be showing you a lot of systems and websites and tools and so on. You might want to keep using it later because I think Trello is cool. Whenever I need to sort of organize something, even if it's like vacation or whatever, I just make a Trello board to do it. So if you use your school email when you graduate, that goes away. Personal email, you can keep having access to it. Having said that, I don't really care. Do whatever works for you. All right, so I'm going to go to Trello.com now. And I'm going to say get Trello for free. Now here's the problem. I can't really sign up for it because I burned up all my email addresses in the past demonstrating it to other classes. So I'm going to just make some fake. I don't really like cluttering up people's systems with these nonsensical accounts, but in this case I have to do it. So I'm just going to make some fake email here. I don't know, like James Bond at BritishSecretService.com or something. So you go and do it for real, like put your real information in there. So sign up. All of this is in the video, by the way. If you need to see it again later, it's all just detailed pretty good in the video. And now I'm in here. And for here, students get upset, like get curious about silly nonsense. Just click anything, doesn't matter. It's just sort of for their little thing of keeping track of who's using their stuff. And skip Jira, right? This is not a software development class. Jira is a pretty nice tool, but I want to keep our main focus on writing JavaScript and making JavaScript application, not so much on the test. Jira is a test tool. Well, we're not really getting into testing here. Now they can ask you to go ahead and set up a simple board. But now you're going to work on setting up your real board for your team. Now what's really going to happen is ideally you're going to work with your team if you can sit together and you can start designing your board from now. Or if you're just working by yourself, if your team members aren't here, you can just make the board by yourself and then the rest of them can link into it. I don't know, it's your team, you figure it out. If your team members are here, maybe you just want to relocate to sit with them and do it together. But here we could call it something like CSD 3103, I think is our course code, whatever it is. And then maybe you could put your section there just to make it easier for me when I'm looking at stuff. Doesn't really matter what you call it because you're going to be sending me the link. Call it dog and cat if you want, but it's a good practice to be a little bit precise in your handling of your project documentation. And that's pretty much it. So whatever you want to call the board is good. Now here, you can go and start setting up lists, but we'll actually get to that in a minute. So you can just skip over all this stuff right now. So anyway, this was just showing you how to set up the account. I cannot go any further because I don't really, maybe there is somebody named James Bond at that domain and they're wondering why they got the link. But anyway, I'm going to go to my real Trello account now, and I'm going to pretend, for the sake of this project, for the next several weeks, I'm going to pretend that I'm a team as well. Me and my dog Peanut. We'll call ourselves Team Peanut, and I will demonstrate and you can follow along with what I'm doing. All right, so let me go to my own Trello account now. Now, the most important thing you need to do right now is get the link to your Trello board and put it in the text file. You say, well, I don't have anything in my Trello board. Okay, I don't care. You're going to add it. Whenever I look at it later, in fact, I'm going to be checkpointing on it every week or more frequently, and I will always see, it's like a web page in a sense, right? I'm always going to see the most up-to-date concept. So now I hope everybody has done this step. Everybody has done sign-up step, hopefully. Now, the next thing we need to do is get the link to the Trello board even before we start setting it up, because I want that link in the text file. What I want right now, here's my outcome we need to get done right now, our sort of phase 1 outcome. We need that text file from every team. And we need the Trello board link, Slack channel invite, so each team is going to set up their own Slack channel. So you're going to put all of these in the text file. And I need your LaTeX overleaf document, which is what you're going to be building up for your report. LaTeX is a page description language, sort of like HTML is a page description language, and overleaf.com is an online editor for making LaTeX. So if you wonder why I'm talking about Overleaf and LaTeX, well, Overleaf is the editor. It's like in a sense if you're doing a web page and you have a web page editor. So overleaf.com is an online editor, and see, there's all my stuff. I'm actually writing entire books here. You know the book I wrote for you, JavaScript, Enterprise Application Methodology? I did that here, right? So it's pretty cool. So when we talk, oh, there's actually your book right there. There's your Gene book. So you see, I put the stuff here. So that's LaTeX. LaTeX is tags, and it might look complicated, but don't worry, I'll help you. I'll give you some starter samples. Pretty simple. So you see that is begin, and then in here verbatim, so that just repeats out everything I have in here. So I'm starting a new page and so on. So anyway, that's LaTeX. And then here, when I got home, and LaTeX is mega cool, it is. If you go into any bookstore or library, you pick up a book on science, math, or engineering, 99 chances out of 100 it was typeset in LaTeX. It's a thing, it's out there in the world. I didn't make it up by myself. Universities and companies all over the world use it, and they use it to maintain their internal documentation. So therefore, see, there's your Jeemster. Jeemie the Jeemster, that's what I made for you. So anyway, you're going to be making an Overleaf account, and you're going to be sending me the link. One thing, like sometimes, and I've actually never had a single student do this, but I always tell the students it is a programming language. Well, not really. I mean, it's like HTML is not a programming language. It's a page description language. But sometimes you might see something about compile error, and if something happens with your LaTeX and you just, I don't know what's going on, just ping me on the Slack channel, which is going to be how we will communicate for the project. And I will, because you're going to give me edit access, so I'll get in there and fix it for you. So with LaTeX, you can output to PDF, Word, PowerPoint, Kindle, PostScript, 60 output formats in total. So if you wanted to write a book and put it on Kindle, you can do it in here. So anyway, we're going to get to that in a little while. So what I want, my basic requirement is you send me the text file. That's what we need to get going first. One per team. Appoint one team member to be the librarian. And you're going to make per team one Trello board, one Slack channel, one Overleaf, and you're going to make some other things we're not going to talk about today, but at the end you're going to make a video of your work as well. So you're going to send me your team's text file, one per team. So appoint one team member to be the librarian, the documentation specialist for the team. One per team. So later on, not today, but when we, maybe get to week 10 or something, because the, let me check here, hang on. When we get towards the end, because Slack is, Camtasia is a free 30-day trial, so I don't want you to get going on it now, and then, I don't know, you'll burn up your trial before, before we get to it, so today is July the 17th, yeah, which is week 10, very good. So maybe around like week 12 or week 13, the video is actually not very much, do it in class, but if I get you going on it maybe on week 12, then you will not, you won't run out of time before your 30-day trial is going. So we'll probably do that sometime around August the 1st or something. All right, so I will now show you how to make a Trello board and share the link. And if you think, I don't know, my Trello board is stupid, I didn't do a good job, okay, make another one, right? It just takes like 5 minutes. Mostly I'm going to show you when I'm recording. This is a video as well, a screencast video. But, I mean, you need to get this done by the end of class today anyway, so if you have any questions, just come and ask me. All right, I'm now going to go to my Trello account. And you see here, I use Trello a lot. Like I've actually, I don't know, probably. In fact, my basic problem here is it's so it's too much stuff, right? I'm kind of over. I need to go and clean this up. In fact, I think I made another account just because students also share their work with me. So I'll show you some of the other boards I've got in the past. Here is something from my AML crew. Actually, no, I guess they didn't put anything there yet. Here's winter AML assignment 1. Yeah, so that could be what a board looks like, right? So they made, or this was like a project review at the end, what went well, what needs to change, questions and discussions, action item. So anyway, this is a Trello board. So let's go and make our own Trello board now. See if I can remember the other account I used, which wasn't so cluttered. All right, guys, so pay attention. So now we're going to go to here. This is all in the video as well, the other LaTeX video. So go to create. Do it right now because this needs to get done by the end of class today. If anybody needs me to sit with them and help them or something, bring your computer up here. I'll do it with you. Go to create and create board. And, I don't know, background, whatever. Make yourself happy on that. Board title, just call it your CSD 3103 project. Trello has so many different things that can be done. I know some instructors, you can actually present from it. I know some instructors who have gone from using PowerPoint. They have all their course materials in Trello, and during the class they project, right? They just go to presentation mode in Trello, because unlike PowerPoint, if you have over 100 slides, good luck finding anything. I have PowerPoint slides with 400 or 500 slides. They're basically useless. I can't find anything there. Whereas Trello, because it has the swim lanes, so much better organized. So anyway, just make yourself happy. Don't overthink it. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can actually go and change it later as well. But here's more or less what you're getting started with now. So you're giving some board title, workspace. Don't worry about it. Just leave whatever's the default. And now, I need, yeah, because this workspace is over the 10. Really? Oh, yeah, because it's in that one from AML. Right, you guys are not going to have this problem. I have this problem because I have so many boards. So I'm going to go and make another workspace now. So I'm going to say create and to find a workspace that has some room in it. Okay, 3304W23. All right, so anyway, I found a free board that has some space. This free workspace is over the 10 board limit, really? Okay, I think if I go to my other account, I can get out of that just a second now. I thought this was a new account that I had that had more space. But anyway, that won't be a problem for you. Log in. Let's try this again. All right, so now you should all be here, right? Is there anybody who does not have this in front of them? All right, so very good. So as we proceed, like once I sort of get out of the set, we're going to do this in phases. Phase 1 is getting you set up for the project, LaTeX, Overleaf, Slack, Trello. Once that's set up, I will actually by myself, I will make a project myself, and you can sort of watch me and get ideas of what to do it. So you can start making, oh, actually, one thing you can put right now, please, make one swim lane, which is called team members, and then add list, and then make card. So say add card, and I want a card for everybody's name, every team member's name. Why? Because if I want to give feedback to individual team members, I want to see that. So here we have Peter, and put the student number as well, and I have my team member Peanut. He doesn't have a student number, so I'll just make one up for him. Add card. All right, so now I have at least a couple of cards, and I have one swim lane. Now look, this is very important. The first thing you need to do is your team librarian needs to grant access to the board to all the other team members. How do we do that? Pay attention, I will now demonstrate. So you've signed up for Trello. Now, you need to appoint a team librarian, because this is where you can all sit together and do it with each other if you like, whatever works. But one, the team librarian, the team document specialist. Needs to provide access to all the other team members to the board. How do you do it? Watch here. And also, you need to grant me by my and that the email they add has to be whatever's the email they signed up to Trello. So if they signed up with their school email or their personal email, you have to add them by their email, which is on Trello. And you also have to add my Trello email account, which is peter@petersigurdson.net. You have to add that to your board as well. So pay attention. We'll now see it. We'll go for a break in a couple of minutes. Let's just get this done. So I'm now going to go here to share. So I'm going to go, there's a couple of things we're going to be working with here. One is the menu, which you get into from that ellipsis. And you can also, your board tab, right? Sometimes you're going to be doing stuff over here. But for right now, I'm just going to go to share. And you can add members here, right? So that's the point. So let's say I had John at sestarcollege.com, whatever. I think you guys are Lambton, whatever's your email, lambton.ca. So whatever's the email, you put it in there. So once again, I'll demonstrate this again. So you're going to go to the share button right there. Once you've done that, the next thing that'll open is over here. So you're going to go to, you're going to see this panel coming open. And then here, you're going to enter the email address of your members according to whatever email they sign themselves up with. So enter the Trello board email addresses of your people. Now, I would ask you to please use the same email address for Slack, Trello, and, well, the tech doesn't really integrate, but later I'm going to be showing you how we can actually create some automated project management. So we'll get into that later. For right now, it'd be better if you just use the same email address to make it a little bit simpler. So here, put their team members, put Trello, signed up, email, here. Right, so for example, if I wanted to get Peanut in there, yeah, surprisingly enough, he's a very active dog. He has his own account here. So he's actually a member of this board. So I could put peanutbichon@gmail.com. The truth, he doesn't check his email very often. But anyway, the point is, next time he checks his email, he's going to get an invite. He can click here and come in. So anyway, now I have a couple of team members in here, and you can get your team members in there. And that completes step one, which is sign up. So remember, you're also putting me in there as well, because one of the way we would do things at work is a project team would have a Trello board, and the information architect, right, the business analyst, whoever is directing the project, would access your board and give you feedback and communicate and so on. All right, guys, let's take a little break now. It's 10:10. Let's give it a break till 10:25. When we come back, we're going to finish setting all this stuff up. So go and do that now. On break, resume 10:25. Right, so you're going to go to slack.com to make your team Slack channel. All right, guys, so I'll type up your instructions here so you have a reference on it as before, then we'll keep going. So in terms of your setup, yeah, so Slack, we're going to come back to this once it's decided. Maybe it's mad at us. In Farsi, you say if you're not talking to somebody, you're gar with them. I guess we're going to wait till they ashti, which means make up with us. So now let's set up our LaTeX document on overleaf.com. So remember, you need to put the Slack invite to me in your text file. That's the goal here. Yeah, so we don't have the Slack invite yet. I mean, maybe it's working for you, it's not working for me. When I try to set up my Slack channel, it's saying I'm going too fast and I should come back later, which I personally think is a little bit rude, but anyway, I'm not going to say anything about that. Maybe, what I think is happening is because so many people are hitting it at the same time, maybe it thinks it's like, you know, being ping bombed by a cyber attacker or something. Maybe that's why it's not responding, but we'll come back to that later. So somebody was asking, what do I mean by the Slack invite? So when I can do this, which I can't do yet, but when I can go to create a new workspace, which you see it's not working yet. I don't know why. Whenever I can get past this, whenever it decides to let me in, I'm going to show you, you can get an invite. You can just click on something called Create Invite, and that's going to be a URL. You will put it in the text file and send it to me. When I click on that link, I will get into your Slack channel, and I can now find out everything about you. I can look at the contact list on your phone. I can, I can get into your bank account. I can do it all. Not really, no. But what I can do, we're going to be using Slack. You're going to communicate with your team members to do the project on Slack, and I can also, if I see maybe you're going in the wrong direction or something, or if I want to give some feedback. Anyway, I just want to show you doing the project the way real project teams at work really do it. And Slack and Trello and LaTeX are tools they use, so therefore that's what we're working with here. So when I can get into here, we'll come back, maybe not even this week, maybe next week, whenever they decide they're going to start talking to us again. So, but for right now, where was I here? I was here somewhere. Oh yeah. So now let's work on our, make your Overleaf account and make your Trello document, your LaTeX document. Let's do that first. So everybody go to overleaf.com. As before, I can't really demonstrate it because I've run out of practice emails to set up, but it's not too hard. So you go to overleaf.com and say sign up. And again, just any email you want. So once again, that's not a real email, but you're going to go and get your 6-digit code and put it in there. I will give you a minute to do that, and then I will show you how to set up your Teams LaTeX document. So you go and work on that for a couple of minutes, and then I will show you what to do next. Of course, as always, we have a nice video for that, courtesy of Professor Brown Bear. So let's click it in there.
All right, so we're all set now. I don't see any concerns. I guess we're all good. All right, pay attention. I'm going to go a bit fast, but you will have the recording to refer back to later.
So once everybody is in Overleaf, and I'll give you another minute, I will demonstrate setting up a starter LaTeX document. And then every time in future, we have another, it's week 10, right? 11, 12. Yeah, we've got another 2 weeks to work on this in class. We're going to make it do week 14 at the end. So we've got about another 3 weeks probably. And you're probably going to need to do a little bit of work. Oh, I know. The other instructor, the one whose assignments you're doing here, you can sit in his class and work on this. You know, you can get some time that way. Anyway, now that I guess you're probably set up in Overleaf, I will demonstrate how to create, and everything I'm going to show you is here anyway, so I will demonstrate how to set up a simple. Now, here's the interesting thing. You're going to, here's a typical workflow. Here's how I would do it. You set up your Trello board. So when I give you your business domain, I haven't done that yet, but you're going to study your business domain, and that's going to give you some ideas on what kind of things you need to do. So in LaTeX, you can make chapters, and you can combine the chapters together in different combinations. And actually, I have a LinkedIn blog article you can read that talks about it a lot as well. So I'll share that out with you also. I have to like and share her stuff or she gets hurt. She thinks somehow I'm mad at her or something. Some people are so insecure, it's not good. All right, here we go, posts and activities. Jesus Christ, this thing is so stupid. So useless. Ah, here we go. Yeah, you can go and read this. This will give you more ideas of the kind of thing of what LaTeX does also. So here I talk about the idea of document engineering. Yeah, this actually tells you everything you need. Oh, actually, this is going to my coder document. All right, so I'll just kick that out there. All right, I'm going to go over this relatively quickly, but you can ask me, you can ping me on your Slack channel, or you can we can work on it later. Basically, right now, all we need for you is to have a team Overleaf account and the starter of a LaTeX document. You're going to send me the link. We're going to build it up later. So I'm going to go over to here now to my own Overleaf account. So I'm going to say, and this part you have to do. This part you have to follow along with because you got to do it right now. So new project, blank project, and project name, you can just call it our course code. And you can put your team name in there. And create. Is there anybody not sure of how to do this? Do you need me to sit with you and help you? You can watch the video too. So step one is you go to new project. And step two is you just give it some name and create.
Actually, I was creating in my phone.
All right, so that was the Trello part. This is the tech part. So now we have
All right, so
made
we're
our
all set now. I
document.
don't see any concerns. I guess we're all good. All right, pay attention. I'm going to go a bit fast, but you will have the recording to refer back to later. So I'm going to make a new file.
All right, so now I have my LaTeX file. I'll show you what you're supposed to put here later, but at least you need to do this part now. So go to share, and you're going to send me an editable link. Turn on link sharing. So step 1 is you go to share. Step 2 is you make sure this is in the can edit state. Step 3 is you turn on link sharing. And step 4 is you click on the invite button. So you do those 4 steps now. So can edit, turn on link sharing, and look. Oh, actually, sorry, no, I told you something wrong. You should now copy this link which has showed up called Can Edit This Project. So that's what you should do next.
For you also, right?
What?
For you also it is edit, right? Like,
Well, I'm demonstrating. Yeah, you're going to send me the link, and anybody who has this link, including me and your other team members, they can all. What LaTeX is good for is shared, collaborative working on a document. So your team members can all work on the document, I don't know, at home or wherever they are. So you're going to click on here. Anybody with this link can edit the project. You're going to click on the copy button, and that is the link you're going to put in your text file. So put this link in your text file.
I just tried to share and did that.
is it?
I did that send it to him, but I think we can.
Focus.
All right, so you should now have in your text file your team members' name, student ID, and email, your Trello board invite, Slack channel we're going to get to when we can, and your overleaf invites. And I'm going to give you a Dropbox location. While you're finishing that, I'm actually going to go and get the Dropbox location to upload this to. I'll put that in your instructions.
Like where?
So that's the Dropbox link right there for Wednesday AM session S4. When we're finished at the end, you can go and put it there. And I think we can take another break now. We'll take a break till 11:15. The only thing we're waiting on now is hopefully Slack is going to feel like talking to us. If it doesn't, well, we'll pick it up next week. That's all we can do right. We have to be able to create a channel in Slack to get the next thing going.
Did you make that gym using this overlay?
Yes, I did. Yeah, that was done. And yes, it was. Yeah. And I'll output it to PDF, but when it's ready, when I get all the diagrams, I can generate it to Kindle and just upload it to Amazon. And then I'll be a famous published author. I'm sure I'm going to sell 40, 50 million copies in the first month. You know, I'll be on celebrity TV. They'll be interviewing me. And then you guys are all going to be staring at the TV going, hey, that's our prof. That's our prof. He's up there. He's a famous guy now. We can always dream, right? Everybody can have their little hopes and dreams. So anyway, let's see if Slack is working again. Yeah, probably any textbook you pick up in any library or bookstore, probably. LaTeX was invented for the purpose of typesetting technical books. I got into it when I started teaching math because, you know, you need all these symbols, you know, the integration symbol and all that. So Word says it can do that. It really can't. But with LaTeX, it's very easy. No, it's still not. I don't know. Maybe their server's just down today or something. Who really knows? Anyway, take your break. It's 11:05. Come back at 11:20, and then we will start working on the next part of it. All right, so I got to find my instruction sheet now. Where did I put it? I got too much stuff open. Yeah, here. So right there. So Wednesday S4, Wednesday AM. That's you. So you guys are going to go and get that Dropbox link. And then just open it in a browser somewhere. It could be the network. Maybe it's not Slack. Like, the network is really slow today. It's so irritating. Yeah. So now, make sure, I suggest you save the file first. Save it and close it, because if it's not saved, then what you upload isn't going to be completely there. So now you just go here and you say add files. And you find wherever you saved it. So there's Team Peanut. And that's it. Once you've done that, then the lab is basically done. Do that one per each individual person, although you're sharing the file across the team, and you have now just gotten 4%, because there's no real individual thing, right? I'm not going to say, oh, they did this right, they didn't do that. Assuming everything is there, you'll just get the 4%. And if it's not there, then you'll get 0. And if you're not in class, you'll get 0. So just go and do that now. I should have listened to my high school guidance counselor. He wanted me to go and be a movie star. No, I had to be a professor. All right, anyway, it's my own fault. I deserve this, I guess. All right, so you go to the your instruction sheet right there, delivering the project, which hopefully you know where this is because we've been working with it since the beginning. And then you go and find this thing right here, which says where to upload your text file and your Wednesday section 4. So you get that link right there. So you copy that. And then you open that link. And you find your file. And then you say upload, and that's what you do. So go do that now.
I'm just looking at this Dropbox so it is.
Do what? What's the question? Sorry?
नहीं है I get you. अरे
Just drop it. First save it. Where is the link to Slack?
over to this is Slack sorry
Yeah.
this is one is mine.
Okay.
This one is mine.